Hey, beloveds. Happy chance to reframe and reset our intentions and our hopes and our commitments for this next cycle around the sun. It's not quite the same for me as setting New Year's resolutions. We've debunked that in so many different forums, right? But I do appreciate a chance, a kind of marked moment in the year to reflect on what's happened over the past year and the directions that I want to grow in this coming year. I do it with setting a word of the year or words of the year. And I recognize that there are these set aside moments in many different traditions and cultures and religions. One of my beloved friends said to me, "Happy one of many New Year's days, Nancy," to me this week, because she herself has many New Year's days based on her own traditions. I appreciate all of that. And I also recognize that at any moment in the year, I can stop, you can stop, we can stop and say, this is the moment to reset my intentions. This is the moment to do something I've been meaning to do or to change a way of being. This is the moment I'm going to stop beating up on myself so much. This is the moment I'm going to get sober. This is the moment I'm going to break this habit and set about being the essential person that I really am, being truly authentic and integrated. So I've been thinking a lot about this theme of the month that my congregation is following, which is practicing resistance, and the invitation that this offers us to figure out how many different roles there are to play in the work of resistance to fascism, to tyranny, to authoritarianism, to the destruction of values that are like the nourishing soil of our lives. And I pause always because there's so many thoughts that go on in my head, darlings. I have so many edits and nuances I want to add to whatever I say. That's why these are longer than they should be, these reflection pieces. Still, I am finding that as I prepare to lead worship this Sunday at the UU congregation of Gwinnett on the theme of practicing resistance, that all of these stories of acts of resistance, of communities taking different kinds of actions for community care, that are underscoring the values that matter most to the people of my faith, that's for sure, and to so many of us, my beloved friends, the people who are mostly watching these. And I'm finding that I have all of this renewed strength and hope and inspiration from all of these stories. So my question for you this week is, are you part of a community where these stories come in, where you get to hear these stories, or you get to see in action people living with love at the center, people creating and embodying acts of resistance, an inclusive and defiant love? Are you getting to see that in the communities that you're part of, whether that's a faith community or I don't know, a book group or a choir or a volunteer organization that you're part of, or the nonprofit that you work for, or it could be anything, right? It could be a subset of a larger institution where you and your beloveds, your pals, have decided to do some work for the good and to rise up for what you believe is true and good for all. Do you have those communities? And if you don't, I really, really hope that this year, 2026, is the year that you find some. You find at least one community to which you can belong, where you are hearing the stories of resistance taking many, many different forms, of people who are gathered together around shared values and a commitment to the good of all, what was I just reading? It was something about how healing justice is working with the past in order to create a healthy future for everyone. So that idea of looking honestly at where systems of oppression have existed and still exist and still have their DNA woven into our cultures, our way of life, and working to dismantle those so that the future can be a healthy one for everyone, can be a time of joy, a time of dancing. I hope something in here resonates with the kinds of reflections you're having as we start this new year. I hope something in here maybe causes you to stop and think about what ways are you participating in resistance, and in what ways are you finding community and helping to create beloved community that's working with an inclusive and defiant love. Let me know in the comments. I love you. I'll see you soon.